Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Today in this video, I want to talk about the subtopic that I have choose, which is the intraspecific competition. In this video, I will touch about firstly definition, next characteristics, examples, and lastly consequences. Alright, for the definition, intraspecific competition occurs when it is individual of the same species that brought about by a shared requirement for a resource in limited supply and leading to a reduction in the survivorship, growth, and reproduction of the competing individual concerned. Next, the characteristics of intraspecific competition are: first, the ultimate effect, which is decreased contribution of individual to the next generation. Second, the resource must be in limited supply. Third, competing individuals are all essentially equivalent. Fourth, the effect on any individual increases with increasing numbers of competitors. We move on to the examples of intraspecific competition, which are trees that grow very close together via sunlight and soil nutrient. This plant competing for limited resources such as soil nutrients and water are affected, particularly in terms of their growth and structure. Next, the competition between territorial hartebees and male deer competing for mates. Next, the barnacles competing for space on rocks, from which they filter water to obtain their own food. Next, we move on to the types of intraspecific competition. First, indirect or scramble, which is exploitative competition. Indirect interaction depicting competition is exhibited when, for instance, a bear that has caught a fish from the river will mean that the other bears along that river will not be able to catch that fish and therefore indicates an indirect competition. Next, the contest, which is direct or interference competition. Direct form contest competition is direct form of interaction when resources are actively defended from others competitors. As example, a song sparrow defending its own territory. Last but not least, intraspecific competition, the consequences. It can suppress the growth spurt. As example, foresters know that thin out tree plantation will lead to a bigger trees than those left alone to grow at high density, which is density is the number of individual per unit of the area. Theoretically, it is quite common for animals to experience a decrease in the number of young they can produce at high population density. For many species, intraspecific competition has strong effect on how population size varies over time. At high density, growth is reduced, fecundity is suppressed, and survival is affected. Once the population size reaches lower numbers again, fecundity picks back up and survival is increased, putting the population back in a growth pattern. These fluctuations keep the population from getting too high or too low, and this regulating effect is well demonstrated consequence of intraspecific competition. I think that's all from me in this video. Hope you like it. Thank you for watching this video.